call this commission meeting to order. The first item is invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance by Commissioner Rousseau.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. If I may take a point of personal privilege, let me apologize to our residents, our staff, and to my colleagues for my tardiness. I did not catch the time of the meeting for today, and I apologize for your time. Shall we pray? Father God, we thank you for this opportunity to fellowship and gather in an effort to do the business that we've been appointed to do. We just thank you for your peace. We ask for your power and your presence. We ask for an extra portion of your mercy, for we're struggling as a nation, as a world, as a country. We just ask that you bring healing to all of us who find ourselves in need. In your Son's name we pray. Amen.
Please stand.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Welcome. Acceptance of the agenda.
I move to accept the agenda with the exception of item number 4, which I'd like to remove for a moment.
Second.
Ian. So you're asking for item 4 to be removed from the consent agenda, but still open for discussion, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And I would like to ask that we remove item 11 to be discussed in January. So would you amend your motion in a second?
Yes. It's amended.
And I'll amend my second.
Okay, is that good? Are y'all good with that?
Yeah, I'm assuming that you don't want to have a special call meeting that's January 8th that you're referring to move it to January?
Yes, just move to January.
Okay.
That'd be fine.
Are we pulling forward to go to the regular agenda and not the consent agenda? Is that
That's
what we're doing?
correct,
Yes.
yes.
Okay.
All right. All right, so everybody clear? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. So the first item on it is, agenda is public hearing. Liam, I guess that's you.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
I'm here for consideration change of ownership for a 2025 retail alcohol, beer, and wine license for the County Land Country Store located at 2708 Highway 92 South in Fayetteville. It's an existing alcohol sales location. It's just going to be a change of ownership.
Okay. Is there any questions or what's the pleasure of the board? I'm sorry, it is. Thank you. So with it being a public hearing, if there are those in the audience that like to come and speak in favor of this rezoning, please rezone.
Alcohol and beverage application. The change in ownership.
Thank you. The beer and wine change of ownership. Thank you. If they'd like to come and speak in favor of that, please come at this time. Seeing none, so if you're here to speak in opposition of this change in ownership of the alcohol, beer, and wine license, you can come at this time as well. Seeing none, I bring it back to the board. What's the pleasure of the board?
Move to approve.
Second.
So we got a motion and seconds. Any discussion on this? Any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you, Lim.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you. Edge. Okay, the next item is public comment. I'll get back on my agenda here in a second. And speakers will be given a 5-minute maximum time limit to speak before the Board of Commissioners about various topics, issues, and concerns. Speakers must direct comments to the board. Responses are reserved at the discretion of the board. Are there those in the audience that like to come and speak at this time? Alice, you're certainly welcome. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. He calls me Alice, but my name is Alice Matthews Jones, and I've been a resident in Fayette County since 1997. And I live at 110 Lawson Lane in Fayette County. It's the northern part of the corridor where we are impacted by the Rick Ross events every year. However, I am here today to address the item number 4 that's in question, and that is the placement of the historical marker on the old courthouse grounds. Back in June of 2020, I believe, or was it 20? Yeah, back in June of 2020, as I visited the EJI in Montgomery, Alabama, and I saw all of the memoirs of the persons who were lynched during the time of that era. Things were happening, starting from probably the late 1800s to the 1900s, and saw that Fayette County was one of the counties that was affected. I thought that it would be very befitting to bring that history of the incidents that happened to persons. Many are still residents here in Fayette County area. One is my neighbor, the Cofields, and their relatives were part of this tragedy that happened. And I think it would bring closure, it would bring respect to the families, to place a marker in memory of their loved ones who lost their lives tragically because they didn't look like others. And I do want to say that we have probably some people here today who are in favor of this happening. It would tell, since the old courthouse is a historical marker here in Fayette County, I think it's going to be experiencing, 200 years shortly. I think it would be very befitting to place a marker there. I see there's other markers on that site, and it's good to have something to keep people aware of what's happening, of what has happened here in Fayette County. It is not extracting from anything other than, respecting those persons and families who have actually lost their life to this tragedy. I've been in this county since that time, and I had to travel. I was just telling some of my friends here that I had to travel all of the southeastern region as a tax auditor for the state of Florida. And I've never experienced, coming from Philadelphia, I've never experienced the turpitude of hatred towards me because I was different that I experienced here in the South. But we can do better, and we know that this too shall pass, and that we should proceed with giving respect or lending respect to the families of the descendants who lost their lives accordingly. Any questions of me?
Thank you. Alice
Thank you.
Jones?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Bill Grable, and I'm a 41-year resident of Fayette County. I currently serve as the president of the Congregation of Christ Our Shepherd Lutheran Church in Peachtree City. But I also serve as recording secretary for the Fayette County Community Remembrance Coalition. But my favorite job is that of grandpa to 5 grandchildren who are all local. And I would like to bring to your attention just a few of the community activities that our coalition has provided in the last few years. Coalition members have presented educational programs to local civic and historic organizations about an often untold history of our county. We have sponsored 2 separate bus trips from Fayetteville to the Legacy Museum and the Peace and Justice Memorial in Montgomery, Alabama. We have provided information and education at venues like MLK Day, Juneteenth, and Black History Month. We also held 2 well-attended community book discussions at our county library with authors of books on race relations. We've developed and installed an exhibit on Fayette County lynching victims, and that's in the county library. We sponsored an essay contest and awarded 3 scholarships to local high school students. We've conducted 2 soil collections and memorial ceremonies honoring 2 of Fayette County lynching victims, Bud Hasselton and Charles Kelly. Some of the coalition members also participated in 5 separate half-day programs doing the work of racial healing at the Fayette Friendship Community Church on New Hope Road. We're not a large or highly visible organization. However, we are a coalition of Fayette County citizens that embrace a vision of a beloved community where our shared history is known and understood by all. In a community where all of our children and grandchildren can flourish. And I thank you for the opportunity to address the board today.
Thank you, Bill.
Any questions?
No, we're good.
Good afternoon. My name is Janice Bryant, and I have lived in Fayette County at 230 McKenzie Lane in Fayetteville since 2007. I am one of the co-chairs for the FCCRC, and I am going to be addressing item number 4. Our very first meeting that we had was in January of 2021. So our coalition has been working together for almost 5 years. We have about 80 people that are in our email group that are interested in participating in the SCCR meetings and events. We work with the Equal Justice Initiative, which is EJI in Montgomery, to bring the all victim marker to Fayette County. EJI provides us with criteria to accomplish these goals, guidance and support for the educational events, the soil and marker ceremonies. The FCCRC mission through the Fayette County Remembrance Coalition efforts, we seek to honor victims of racial terror lynching, and honestly reflect the history and legacy of racial and economic injustice in our community. We aim to raise awareness, motivate, and inspire action through dialogue, community education, and public memorials. It is through these educational events and memorializing the victims that we hope to bring understanding, peace, and harmony among our community. An old African proverb basically says that knowing our history and heritage is essential for understanding ourselves and the world around us. By learning the past, we can better both the present and the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there others who'd like to make comments during public comment at this time? Seeing none, I close public comment, and consent agenda list item 4 is up for consideration. Do I have a motion?
I need to make some comments on it.
Okay.
Move to approve the consent agenda, less item 4.
Second.
So we got a motion and a second. Any other discussion on that?
Yeah, I asked to pull this off because I wanted to make some comments about it. It's an important issue, which you're all involved with, and you all covered some of what I was hoping to get here on live stream, because this will be preserved. My big concern with this, and I think it's important that people hear this too, the perspective that once we have the monument out there and it references the lynchings, that's all that will be referenced. And years from now, children reading it, students, are not going to know what your group did, the hours that you've put in, the time that's been put in to get it to this point. And I think it was important that we know that this is such an important issue, that we bring it up, we talk about it a little bit. You already covered some of what I was going to say anyway. I had made my own notes here. And one of the ladies here, I think whoever was last mentioned it, maybe Janice. One of the most famous quotes that you probably all heard of is those who can't remember the past are condemned to repeat it. So it's good that we remember it. But one thing I would like to see, doesn't usually happen. This country is an incredibly good country, and it's made more progress than any other nation on earth in rectifying issues. And I don't know if it could be possible or not, but I think it would be a wonderful addition to the text if some recognition of that fact can be made, that these tragedies that have happened, that this country is doing so many things to try and avert in the future, and we've made great progress. I think that would be a very unifying message for everybody to see. I understand we want to recognize the families and their closure. We also want to include the people who feel like there have been things done, but they don't get that recognition. And whether we like it or not, we're living in tense times. And I think the more we talk about the good things we have done as well, the faster this will get behind us. And I have my own personal little experience, but when I grew up in Minnesota, which some of you may know, and in the town there, it's a town called Mankato, they had a monument that said, here were hung 38 Sioux Indians. And that's all we knew, that there were hung 38 Sioux Indians. Now there's a story behind it. There were 338 Sioux Indians condemned to be hung during these Dakota Indian Wars. And Abraham Lincoln commuted the sentences of 300. Don't know why we didn't do the whole 338, but people don't know that. It's a good thing that he did that. We wish he did all of them. It would have been so nice to know that, yes, there were 300 saved. And so I'm just thinking, I don't know if you can do it. I know the text is here. That's what we're voting on and approving. But if you could consider adding something there that this country has made great progress, I know I'd appreciate it. I think many people would appreciate seeing that addition to this monument, because we all want to feel like we're doing something about it. So those are basically my comments, and I wanted to express that publicly. I wanted that on the record, and I also want on the record what you folks have done and the source material, because I don't want anybody questioning where this came from. Here's the source. It's there. It's preserved in our minutes. If you'd consider it, we're going to vote on this tonight, but if you consider it, I'd greatly appreciate it. I think a lot of people would appreciate that. And those are my comments.
Okay, so we're going to vote on items 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 at this time. That's what we got a motion and a second on, correct, Dennis?
Correct.
Okay, so any other questions on those items? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, now we're going to talk about item 4, and Mr. Otto has already made comments. Are there other comments that we'd like to make at this time on item 4?
I'll go ahead and make the motion to approve it, bearing in mind my comments, the folks out here bearing in mind my comments.
Okay, now I got a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, so we got a motion. Sorry. Okay, all right. So, are there comments about this that we want to make about this, other than what Mr. Otto has made?
Let me, Mr. Chair, my colleagues, let me take the opportunity to thank the coalition for the hard work that they have done in bringing this initiative to us. I want to thank them personally for the trips, the bridge building that's taken place. And let me give a little more context to this issue. These markers exist around the state and around the country as well. We would be the latest addition to that. If I heard my colleagues' comments correctly, I wanted to put a little more context to this, and the only reason I would object is if I would have the opportunity to put context on some of the other markers that exist now. Be very, very, very controversial, I think. I agree with him recognizing the coalition, if it is permitted by EJI, to say who brought this to us. If you all could accomplish that, I think it needs to be done outside the board, obviously with approval, final approval on the language that is EJI, the Remembrance Coalition. Those are my comments, Mr. Chair. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, just to confirm, we're not voting to change anything that they've already decided, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes.
I just asked them to consider it. We're not.
Yeah, we ask them
Just
to
making
consider.
sure I know what I'm voting for, Chuck.
Yeah, yeah. Are there other comments? Other questions on this? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Thank you. Great work. So now we got to get down to item number, item 12 is the next item. Is that you, Tim? All righty, that's good.
Afternoon, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. I'm here to seek your approval for the agreement between Georgia Power Company and Fayette County for an underground easement located at 340 Hill Road. This is the tactical driving course, and effectively it's an underground easement to get power to the viewing tower out there on the phase 2 of the tactical driving course. Tower is already up, everything's ready to go, we just need to hook some power up to it.
Okay.
And it's underground.
Excuse me, say that again.
It's underground.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the agreement between Georgia Power and Fayette County.
Do I have a second?
Second.
So I got a motion and a second. Other comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. All right. My favorite purchasing agent.
Agenda item number 13 amends the county ordinances governing purchasing. Fayette County Ordinance, Chapter 2, Article 5 governs the purchasing function. It's in need of update due to the passage of state legislation, more types of procurement mechanisms being used, and the need to minimize administrative costs where possible. Now, I'll be glad to go over each red-line item or to answer questions, whatever you gentlemen prefer.
Can you just summarize it for us, Ted?
Certainly, yes. All right. Basically, the major things it would do. There's four things it would do. One is to streamline future ordinance updating, and that's by taking some of the dollar limits and thresholds that are put in the ordinance, and it says if they're approved in the board approved policies and procedures, that's what will govern. That means we don't have to change the ordinance as often.
Good.
It more closely aligns the purchasing department's stated duties with the county's organizational structure. For instance, the update deletes the requirement for the purchasing director to inspect all deliveries of materials, supplies, or contracted services to determine their
Can
conformance.
keep you pretty busy, Ted.
That would keep me busy if I could do that, for sure, yes. And then the third thing is clarifies when purchases must be made through the purchasing director or department. A statement is added to authorize delegation of relatively low-cost purchases to the user departments,
Right.
as well as explain when purchase orders are required. Okay, and then the last thing I would mention is clarifies when emergency purchasing procedures may apply. In essence, it acknowledges that emergencies may occur at any time, not just weekends or after hours.
Sure.
Okay. All right.
Sounds like it's a good update. We appreciate you working on this. kudos to the staff. Do I have a motion on this?
Move to approve the amendments to the Fayette County Code of Ordinance, Chapter 2, Administration, Article 5, Purchase and Sales Division.
Do I have
Second.
a second? Got a second. So is any other discussion?
Let me commend you, Ted. I didn't have to scramble. You gave references to each of them in the back, so it made it very, very easy for me to follow instead of trying to pull up each ordinance to see what the red line was. And thank you for that. Good job.
So with that in mind, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you, Ted.
Thank you. Okay.
Vanessa.
Okay.
Oh, you got one more.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yes, the next on agenda, item 14 is mine also.
Okay.
And the majority of changes I'm requesting in the policy and procedure are needed mainly due to inflation over time and the recent state legislation that was passed to correct for that inflation. And basically what that did, our public works procurements and our road construction procurements, it set limits. The public works construction was set at $100,000. Anything above that must be formally bid and advertised and come to the board for approval and all that. That was increased. The state authorized the increase for local governments from $100,000 to $250,000, and for road departments it had been set at $200,000, and that put that on the same plane. It raised it to $250,000.
I got you. Okay.
You said for board approval or ratification?
I'm sorry.
You mentioned it would come before the board for approval or for ratification?
For approval.
Okay.
So what's the pleasure of the board?
Move to approve the amendments.
Second.
So we got a motion and a second. Any other comments?
Got a comment.
Okay.
Well, I should have made it before, but I think could you look at page 128?
128.
And 1, 2, 3. Under contracts, the paragraph starting with the chairman, vice chairman, or county administrator, are we missing vice chairman from the third line as well after chairman? Should we add vice chairman in there? Prior to presenting any contract to the chairman or county administrator.
Which page are you
Page
on?
128.
128?
I think it's supposed to be there. Did you see what I'm talking?
The red line version I have has chairman, vice chairman, and county administrator.
In the first line.
But the third line,
No, it says prior to presenting the contract to the chairman or county administrator. It doesn't say the vice chairman.
Yes, it looks like vice chairman should be added there also.
Should be.
Is this in the absence of the chair, or it could be either or?
Typically, it's either I, because typically the chairman's on a check if we're issuing a check, but this is actually relating to contracts, and so it's a physical signature.
Yeah.
Usually it's either me or the chairman, but the vice chairman can sign in our absence.
Sure.
That's typically
In the
how it's
absence,
done.
Right, I was saying in the, yeah.
So any three of us would be authorized.
So should that language be in the absence?
Yeah, the vice chairman should be in that second sentence.
okay, clear on that? Just tell me, do we have a motion and a second on this? Or
No.
We have, do I have a?
You got a motion for sure.
Yeah, and I second it.
Okay.
I
Joe
think
seconded.
the motion should be amended to include
Yeah.
the vice chair in that second sentence on page 128.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, so we got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Now, this one didn't give me any references.
Halito? This next item, number 13, is a request to approve the resolution 2025-12 to amend minimum standards and specification, and it should be the Fayette County Water Systems minimum standards and specification for infrastructure. And these standards, I have not found a recent copy in our files, so they have not been updated in quite a while. We review plans, we
perform inspections and accept water infrastructure from developers based on these standards and specifications. These standards and specifications are commonly referenced in our other ordinance and will be in the next business item to follow.
Now move to approve the resolution 2025-12.
Do I have a second?
Second,
So got a motion
for discussion.
for this, and I mentioned this to Vanessa prior to on the section on page 154 concerning patching and pavement, and I asked under pavement if we would match the thickness of the existing road. We call out type E and type F mix, which is fine, but if it's a heavy duty pavement section, we need the same amount of asphalt going back in there. The other thing, as it relates to a patch, I'd like for the patch to be described as a Georgia DOT type A patch, and that's very clearly defined. Anybody that's working in and around contractor fields people, they know what a type A patch is. And I would also ask that, and I think staff does this, I apologize if I'm preaching to the choir, but I want to bore the roads wherever we can, because we don't want to corrupt the integrity of the structure by open cutting. I understand we have to open cut sometimes, especially in the event we have a leaky water line and we don't know exactly where it's leaking or whatever. Those would be my additions, and I appreciate y'all working on this and adding it because it makes it clearer. Everybody knows what's expected. Those are my comments.
So unlike the other document, and I think I heard you answer my question a little bit, you could not find a standard,
Not in recent history.
okay, so there is no red line. This is really,
This is it.
this is a beginning point in our new standard for, okay, so we're not, so all other stuff will be repealed and,
You're correct.
okay, all right. Thank you.
Other comments, questions? All in favor, say.
Mr. Chairman,
Okay.
I understood what your comments were. Do we have that specific language in what you want to amend? Because I don't know where you want to amend this. Vanessa, do you know where he wants to amend it?
I have it right here.
Okay,
I met with her before.
okay. As long as we have the amendment, we're amending it for a type A patch, and
I'm not amending my motion.
To include this
okay.
language?
I'm like Dennis, I'm kind of unclear on this.
I
You
am.
know,
I mean-
what I'd rather see is if we're gonna revise this and do math in public, let's just get it done one time and bring it back to the board. Because right now, I'm about ready to withdraw my motion and move to table.
So the posture right now is there's a motion on the floor and a second before you made your
Right.
comments.
Correct.
And
To
the
accept
person
it
that
as
made the
submitted.
motion has not moved to amend his motion, so if
Right.
this motion passes, it does not include your amendments. I just want you to understand that, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
So you can either table this and we can
Yeah.
bring it back with those changes, or you can approve this and it'd still come back with a red line version for what you're adding.
Yeah, I'll withdraw my motion and move to table.
Okay. Do I have a
Table
second?
to December.
January 8th. Or
January
we can go to December meeting,
December.
whatever that is.
December
The December
11th?
meeting date,
December the 11th or January 8th?
December the 11th.
That's fine.
I think that's easy enough. We have the language, so we
Yep.
could do
Okay.
that, December the
We're
11th.
good. Do I need to vote on that, Dennis?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
So all in favor of the table, please say aye.
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 All opposed? Thank you.
Don't need a second table,
Second table.
but you never follow it.
I do.
You don't vote?
So you got item 16, Vanessa?
This request is to approve ordinance 2025-05 to revise Article 4 of Chapter 28 of the Fayette County Code of establishing new provisions pertaining to cross-connection control. The last time this ordinance was revised was in 2005. We have since changed some of our practices. This ordinance allows the water system to maintain and enforce our backflow prevention program as required by the state safe drinking rules, safe rules for drinking water. The major change in here is for any testable device, a backflow assembly. The customer is now responsible for the installation, the certified testing, when it's installed, and then reporting all the maintenance and doing the annual reporting on the backflow device.
So who would this apply to? Would it,
This applies to all customers. I'm so glad you asked that question. This applies to all customers who, residential customers who have connections that are 1.5 inches or greater. It applies to all irrigation meters, no matter what size, and it applies to all non-residential customers. So that makes up about 2,500 connections in our over 34,000 connections, so about 7% of our customer base.
so most of the typical homeowners it's a 1-inch connection, is that, or
It's a 3/4 inch.
3/4 inch? So,
And we install those, and we install those with a backflow preventer.
right,
That's a non-testable device.
right, okay. So we're talking about 7% of our, and it would be our larger users?
Correct.
Where the risk might be larger? Is that
Correct.
what this is to identify? So,
Yes.
So it's got to be, how much do we expect the testing to cost that? I mean, I have no idea what that would cost and how you test it.
Mr. Chairman, Coweta County resident, cost me $55 a year to have it tested.
Okay, thank you.
And
Our
this
expert
isn't
witness.
really a major change, but it's a complete rewrite of the entire section. That's why you don't have a red line, because if you compared this to the last one,
Right.
you'd spend time trying to decipher what the red line means, because there's so many changes to
I
it, and so many
gotcha.
deletions and additions.
I got you.
So that's why you don't see a red line with
Okay.
this.
Thank you, because that was my question here. I don't have a reference point, but okay, this is a complete rewrite.
Complete rewrite, yes,
All right. Let's note that,
Are there other questions, comments?
Move to approve ordinance 2025-05.
Second?
We got a motion and a second. Any other comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Vanessa. And you have item 17 as well, right?
Correct. This agenda item is the pre-sequel to the next agenda item. It's a request to reduce the amount payable to GDOT's contract on State Route 5474 by $221,681.22. So back in August, at the last August meeting of this year, I came before this board and we amended the GDOT contract to include that amount. Well, GDOT since this decided it wasn't going to go in this contract for various reasons. And so we're amending that contract amount to exclude the $221,000 and some change dollars.
Mr. Chairman, move to modify contract PI 0013726 to reduce the amount by $221,681.22.
Do we have a second?
Second.
So we got a motion and a second. Any questions?
So, there's $1 million discrepancy between what projected and what actually came in, right? From 2022 to 25? Whew, they were off by a lot, huh?
What's
Am I-
before you is they're actually reducing the contract
I know,
award
I know.
by $221,000.
But he's,
I know. I'm just seeing that it went up from our anticipated 2018,
Yes.
1 million to 1.04. I mean, 2.04. That's $1 million discrepancy scope of work must have been real bad, or cost supplies went up drastically. Wow. And we get 2, 4, 2 out of that one. Okay. Wow. That's what he's looking
So we got a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. All right. Item 18.
So this work still needs to be done at 5474, and so we're doing a contract with the subcontractor of GDOT, directly with the subcontractor, in the amount of $211,055.22.
So we saved about $10,000 plus or minus, correct, by doing it this way?
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, move to approve contract 26052-S.
Second.
So we got a motion and a second. Any other questions on this? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you, Vanessa. And item 19. I keep saying thank you.
It's the last one.
You're still hanging around.
This request is award contract 2558 for elevated water storage tank maintenance for fiscal year 2026 with a not-to-exceed amount of $740,691,000, and to transfer $54,691 to CIP 50724 WSG from CIP 50720 WSA. So every 3 years, we have these tanks inspected as required by our rule, our state rule. And for the last several years, we've noticed maintenance that needs to take place. This contract is a 1-year contract with 4 one-year renewals. And we've outlined in the contract what work needs to be done every year on every tank going forward.
What's the, I don't like doing 4 and 5 year contracts. What's the benefit for 3-year renewal?
Well, the benefit of this 5-year contract is you're actually getting all your water tanks. If you look at page 222, you can see that you've got 4 above ground water tanks, and you can see what the annual price is. So it's levelizing that cost over the 5 years. These are funded out of the water system capital budget.
Well, the
so
funding's there, so I don't have a
right.
problem with that.
But the reason is the consistency with the same vendor, actually looking at each of these towers and doing work on all 4 of them as we go along, refreshing one of them a year over the next 5 years, which is her maintenance schedule.
So
Well,
these
big
automatic these automatic renewals don't have to come back before the body?
You will still see these dollar amounts buried in her CIP because her budget gets approved each year. So you'll still see the dollar amount for this maintenance program, but she'll actually incorporate this 5-year schedule into her 5-year CIP.
And my question was, you can automatically execute the annual renewal at your level?
Well, this
Or does it have to
contract would
come back
exceed
before the-
250, so you'd still see this contract
Yeah.
on the board because it exceeds my authority of $250,000 to approve. So you'd still see the contract being renewed. We'd sign off on a year. You'd see a 1-year renewal in a contract.
Okay, thank you.
No, Mr. Chairman, move to approve contract 2558-P and to approve the transfer of $54,691 to CIP 507-24 WSG from CIP 50720 WSA.
Second.
So we got a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
no.
All in say-
Sorry.
No problem.
Sorry, there was no motion. I just wanted a procedural we've done business with them before, or no?
No, we have not,
Okay.
but I checked.
Because I didn't see a vendor performance. Okay, I just have reservations about doing 5. I'd like for us to consider 3s and going forward. But anyway, thank you. No vendor performance. Okay. Got it. Thank you.
So are there any other questions or comments about this before we vote on it? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 20. Brian?
Good afternoon, Board.
Good afternoon.
I'm here to request the award of contract number 2522P Asset Management Software to Atkins Realis USA, provider of the ViewWorks GIS-based asset management system, in the amount of $260,400, with an option to renew the contract by the county for additional 4 years at 1-year renewal terms for $39,900 a year, and to reallocate $10,430 from general fund, project contingency, CIP, all those numbers. So this is a long time coming. I want to thank a couple departments, including the water system, road department, IT, and purchasing. We've been at this for almost, I think, 8 months now, writing the RFP. We had 2 antiquated systems and SIMS for asset management for the water system, and PubWorks for public works to deal with customer service and asset management. We went out looking for a more holistic program that both departments can use and will actually be able to talk to each other back and forth. It's a GIS-based solution, so it's going to be based on maps, and also, though, it also has a warehouse component for non-mappable items. So,
How does this benefit the residents? I mean, what are we getting from this?
so right now, both SIMS and PubWorks, we are no longer going to be able to use. SIMS is no longer providing updates, and PubWorks was bought out and then bought again. So this customer service portal will allow us to take in complaints, get them out in the field, provide our staff with the information in the palm of their hand to be able to better communicate to the citizen complaints and things along those lines.
Okay. So the citizens see an improvement.
Yes, sir. Improvement in response time, yes, sir.
That's good.
Do we have, what's the
Yeah,
pleasure
Mr.
of the
Chairman,
board?
move to approve contract 2522-P and to reallocate $10,430 from the general fund project contingency to CIP 375-402-50-522-36254 AI.
Second.
We got a motion and a second, so any other discussion? I think this was probably long overdue, Brian. Thank you to you and staff for leading the charge on this and getting this done. We appreciate it. Look forward to seeing the final product on this. So, all in favor say aye.
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 All opposed?
Thank you, Board.
Thank you, Brian.
Good job,
Say Paola.
Good afternoon. This is more of an administrative agenda item. Back on June 12th of 2025, we adopted our safety action plan. We submitted all documentation to FHWA. They came back with a recommendation to amend that resolution and include a target goal date to achieve Vision Zero. So we amended that resolution, and we're seeking approval of Resolution 2025-11 for our Fayette County Safe Streets and Roads for All Safety Action Plan.
Mr. Chairman, move to approve Resolution 2025-11.
Second.
We got a motion and a second. Any other discussion?
Question. Is there any penalty for not meeting the date?
It's my understanding if we don't meet that date, we would just have to reassess and continue to track where the crashes are happening, fatalities and serious injuries.
Okay.
Other questions or comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Paola.
Thank you.
Administrator's report, bless you.
I want to remind the board that the last meeting of the year is going to be December the 11th, and it will be at 2 p.m. Might want to make a note of that.
So noted.
I'm sure we'll get a phone call next time.
I'm sure you will. I sent you also a copy of the HOT projects. You have a HOT project update for the Parks and Recreation multi-use path, the Stars Mill Tunnel, Coastline Bridge Road improvements, North Bend Court Culvert, QTS traffic signal, as well as Mark Lane. The 200th anniversary for the courthouse will be held on Saturday, November 15th at 10 a.m. is when it starts. And then Thanksgiving holiday will be this year, again, November 27th to 28th, so the county offices will be closed. And then, as you're aware, we've had to jump through some hoops in regards to the tax digest It was, the reassessments were actually reapplied, which actually created an increase from what was advertised. So we have to jump back through those advertisements. That's going to require us to have 2 special called meetings. One will be on December 1st. The first hearing will be at 10 a.m. The second one will be at 6 p.m. And then on December 8th, there'll also be one at 5 p.m. And we'll make sure we get those notices to you so you can get them on your calendar as well. That's all I have.
Okay. Attorney's report, Dennis?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have 2 items this evening for executive session, one for real estate and one to review your executive session minutes of October 23rd, 2025. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. Commissioners' reports, comments?
This one?
Okay, go ahead. Sure.
The first one. Well, everybody's still in here. We won't be coming back until after Thanksgiving, so wish everybody a very happy, safe Thanksgiving. And it looks like now you can fly if you want to, so since the government's reopened, enjoy your holidays.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman.
Sure.
First of all, I'd like to echo Commissioner Russo's comments. I apologize for not realizing that this meeting was today at 2 o'clock. We'll be very grateful for a phone call next time, but I want to apologize to everyone for wasting your time. My second comment, Mr. Chairman, is that, I'm glad to see local organizations taking high school kids to various museums. 2 days ago was Veterans Day. And currently, the best estimate is 20 to 22 veterans a day commit suicide. I don't see a marker out there on the courthouse for them. I don't see a marker out there for veterans in general. If we've got organizations that are taking people to see museums, we've got some great ones in Georgia. We've got the National Infantry Museum down at Fort Benning. We've got the Museum of the 8th Air Force in Savannah. So I would encourage organizations to take high school kids to those museums as well as recognize the contributions that veterans have made in basically making sure that we're able to have this meeting today. So those are my comments, Mr. Chairman. Thanks.
10-4, I had a pleasure of attending an ARC meeting in Atlanta yesterday. Spent better part of 3 hours at that meeting, and one of the things, and I'll be brief, we approved yesterday was a $102 million budget for the ARC. So with that $102 million budget, they manage 200 different programs. So there's a lot going on. And our staff at ARC did a very good job looking ahead prior to the government shutdown. And the feds fund a large portion of what ARC does and funds. And they had a minimal amount of impact on our projects because the ARC staff did such a good job in prep. So kudos to them, but they're looking forward to getting the money flowing again, once the shutdown is completely over with. So just wanted to give you an update on that. And so next item is executive session. Do I have a motion to go into executive session?
Move to go in executive session.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.